Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Not come on in. Not come. Sorry, y'all. Y'all know I'm weird. Whatever.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. Okay, follow me on Instagram and let's get into the video, right?
And we're back. We're back. What's going on? What's going on, people? Again, it's your girl BondyBlue. I am back. We're about to get into weekends on, child. Okay, y'all, this week is just so weird to me. Like, y'all, I do so many things, like, usually, and I have been, like, just not feeling like doing most of the shit that I do. I don't feel like working out. I don't feel like doing nothing, girl. I barely was about to get up here and do these videos, but I have FOMO. So I needed to get my opinion to the streets because, I got to get it out before y'all don't care no more. Make sure you subscribe, okay? Because I am on the road to 100,000 subscribers. I've been doing this for like a decade plus. So it would be so nice to finally get my little plaque that said I did something when I was over here. Okay? Hold up. Let me change this chat to y'all being a subscriber for 5 minutes, okay? Because I need to get to 100K, girl. And we can't have you, being a part of a conversation if you don't go here, okay? You got to go here in order to be a part of the conversation, girl. So let me make sure the chat is subscriber only, okay? Okay. What's going on? Hey, everybody. I hope y'all are having a good day. I've already done a review of Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip in case you missed it. Okay. Um, Also, I am going to do SWV and Escape probably tomorrow. Because after this, I'm gonna be tapped. After this, I'm gonna be tapped. And I hope that this video goes well because I'm having some internet issues, girl. I don't know why I'm having internet issues, but it seems as if some of y'all get knocked out and then y'all gotta come back in. It's a whole situation and I don't appreciate it, so we really hoping that this live goes a little bit better. And then also sometimes if you catch the playback, the issues that were going on during the live aren't there on the playback. not not in my pay grade, okay? I don't know what be going on, child, but I'm glad to see y'all are here. If y'all want to help YouTube tell everybody I'm on live to talk about these things, like the video, okay? Like the video, y'all. It's 200 of y'all in here. I feel like we can make the likes match the views right now. We can do that. We're going to start off with Ready to Love because it wasn't that much. Okay? I'm so glad that it's about to be over. I wasn't even really reviewing it like that, but y'all asked me to, so I jumped in. And then I jumped out and I jumped in and reintroduced myself. Okay? So I um basically I'm kind of over the format of this show, to tell you the truth. But I'm here, girl, because I do like to review what y'all like for me to review. So we here. So let's quickly get through Ready to Love so that we can get on to the show I really want to talk to y'all about, which was Put a Ring on It, okay? That's what I wanted to talk to y'all about, okay? So let's go ahead and get into it. So first of all, thank God, thank the producers for finally sending Sue-Ann home. My gosh. She hasn't had a real connection besides Blake, and I wouldn't even call that a real connection. It's more so, hey, we like each other, so let's keep choosing each other until we get to the end of the show, huh? That's what it was given. It wasn't given we really like each other. The fact that Sue-Ann was excited for bump beds, girl, if you really like that man, you should have been trying to bump pelvises. Okay? But you wasn't. You was, oh my God, I love bunk beds. It's because you're not really trying to smash. Blake is doing interviews now. I'm sure he is. I'm not interested. I don't care. Like, to be very clear, like I said, this season was low-key dry to me. And I only really jumped in when things started happening. And then when, things started happening, they stopped happening. And if it wasn't for people making more shit off the show online, then it wasn't really much to talk about if Jeffree and Simone hadn't had they going back and forth. Like, Advocate Sue, she got sent home and I was happy. I was happy. I also don't understand why in the moment, and this might have been a production thing, because I would have been like, well, if y'all gonna send her home, I'm gonna leave too. I'm gonna go ahead and leave too. I'm gonna just go ahead and go on and step out. But that's not what he decided to do. He decided to stay, finish out the trip, then meet with Tommy later. And I'm like, when is a man ever going to be at the ceremony like, you know what? Y'all ain't even got to worry about me. If she gone, I'm out. Okay? When we gonna get a man like that? But oh no, we had to wait until we got back from the trip in order for him to go ahead and back out and say, you know, I've learned some things. Have you? Have you? Okay. We hope so, Blake. But I don't believe your relationship with Sue-Ann was real. And if it pops up online like y'all are now dating, it's only so that y'all can prove everybody wrong, just like a lot of other couples do on this damn show. Okay? So Lyndon feels like Morgan has been avoiding him. He says that Tony isn't good for her. Morgan really felt bad about hurting Lyndon's feelings, kind of being more absorbed with Tony. And the way Tony was acting was like a real red flag to her, acting all controlling and jealous. And I'm like, girl, there have been red flags from the gates. There have been red flags from the gate. And I'm going to just say, do y'all remember like how I told y'all that I feel like when a man leads with the God thing, it's only because he wants you to fit into what men view as the Christian woman, which is a woman that that will basically let a man lead her blindly. That's what they want. They want you to just listen to whatever they want you to do. They don't want you to argue. They just want you to go along with whatever they're telling you to do. And so whenever a man, tells me that, God is foremost and all of this, and then I see you acting like a slut ass creep that's lying to these men about how you really feel about the women. And that's another thing, Tony, that's the biggest red flag for me, is that you really told Lyndon that if Marcia was there, he could have Morgan. And even if he didn't mean that, do you know how immature and fucked up it is for you to actually say that? Like to talk about this woman as if she has no real value as a human, but just someone you can simply use to make yourself look better with men. And I tell y'all that all the time, that a lot of times men only use women as a measuring tool with other men. And, if my woman is real, it looks real good, it's going to impress other men. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I told y'all off rip, I didn't like what Tony was giving from that moment on. And now we get to this point and you're upset because you don't have two options anymore. You just have the one. So you want Morgan to hurry up and get rid of her second option to make you feel more comfortable, even though you didn't have a problem with it, like you said when Marcia was here, because it's all about you feeling validated by having more than one woman fighting over you. And I thought it was so funny that for him, it was bothersome. Oh, I think Morgan likes to see me and Lyndon fighting over her, and that's a red flag for me. You like to see Marcia and Morgan fighting over you. So what's the problem? What's the problem? Is it that y'all feel like only women should be vying for someone's affections? Like, really, is that what you think? Child, listen, at the end of the day, Tony is a huge walking red flag, and he showed his ass this episode. Now, I was in and out, and I wasn't really paying attention because, like I told y'all, this show does not really keep my attention like that. They had to make candles for, all of their respective partners, which for most of them, it was like two other people, right? And Tony decided to stay in his room during this time, which was a relief to everybody, because he really had a bad attitude because Morgan was also, with Lyndon. So he would make it uncomfortable for everybody. So when he stayed in his room, it was like, oh, great. Now we don't have to have all this negative energy. I was just like, yeah, you gotta get rid of him, Morgan. If you really want to be with him, girl, you need to go back to therapy so you can figure out what's going on with you. But Jeffrey calls her candle for Andre biblical husband. And I was just like, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Biblical husband. Girl, really? Really? I want y'all to leave the Lord out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want y'all to leave the Lord out of it. Because sometimes I feel like y'all really use the Lord's name in shit that she did not really ask for y'all to bring her in. Y'all called on the Lord, and the Lord was like, "Who, me?" Child, I don't have anything to do with that. I was working on somebody else that day. That was just you. That was just you. Don't put it on me, ma'am. Okay? Because biblical husband, girl, I just like, do you want him to be a shepherd? Like, what's happening? Like, I'm a girl. It's sickening to me. It's sickening to me the way religion is used as merely a tool of manipulation. Jeffrey, as a woman, is using it to catch a man, and we watch when we get into put a ring on it. It's the same thing, y'all. Oh, I'm very spiritual. I'm very about Jesus and my God. Okay. I'm very about Jesus and my God. And what that translates to is, I want you to take care of me, nigga. Okay? I'm going to be submissive because I want you to pay all the bills. And I want you to do all of the things outside of the house that I don't want to do. And I want you to make sure that you're paying the bills so that I can constantly say, I don't need this job. My man pays all my bills. Like, that's what I want. Okay? And just say you're using religion in order to promote that, just like the men are using religion in order to get the women that are willing to submit all of their power to them so that the men can do whatever the fuck they want to do and retain their branding. You get you with a good Christian woman, and a good Christian woman is going to stay. She's going to do what my girl Erica De Niro says. She's going to be a mattress mule and a maid. Okay, she gonna do all of that for you, and then once you go outside of the relationship and disrespect her in some very low level sinful manner, she's gonna protect you. She's gonna protect your branding. She's gonna make sure that she lies to the world so that you look good, even though that's supposed to be against what the Lord told y'all to do. We're gonna ignore that because what's most important is that things look a certain way. That's all that really matters. Okay. So yeah, I'm just looking at everybody that likes to use the Lord in their manipulation toolbox. I'm just looking at y'all like, but you treat people like shit. Like, that's what I really want to say. Y'all use the Lord. Oh, I'm so spiritual. Morgan over here narrowing that man's hair because he lied on her. Girl, why is you in the bed? You supposed to be with the Lord. You supposed to be all deep in your Christianity, Morgan. So explain to me why you was laying in the bed with a man that you wasn't married to, girl. See, this is what I'm talking about. I need for it to make sense all the ways around, and y'all don't like for it to make sense all the ways around. You only use the church shit when you trying to come off a certain way. But it's not actually how you live. Like, not for real. That's all. But you know, I ain't gonna play on Morgan because I ain't see her act ugly with none of the other women like that. And that's the one thing I do respect. I like seeing the way Cynthia and Morgan were supporting each other in this process. And you can tell that everybody may not necessarily see it for Jeffrey, but it's not a lot of disrespect amongst the women. And I appreciate that. I want to point that out because I really do appreciate the fact that these women are, in this space, dating these men and still not being catty and mean towards each other. Because, child, last season, the way Joy and them had did the Kia the season before last, okay, the way y'all had gangs up on that lady when you had already got the man, but you ganging up, girl, it's giving. Why y'all gotta go this route? Why y'all couldn't be like this cast of women and keep it cute? Like, I'm just saying, even when Sue and Jeffrey got into it, it was kept cute in comparison to how we felt on that season with Joy and Clifton and Dakia and Carmen in them. It was giving real nasty high school bitch tendency type shit. Okay? I hate to lean into my accent so heavy, but that's what it was given. Okay? But anyway... Yo, sometimes I hear it. Like, I say certain words and I can hear it. Like, I be running it. But like every once in a while, like when I slow down, I could hear my accent. I'm like, oh girl, please pull it back. I'm trying. The more I'm home, y'all, the less I hear my accent. Y'all know I've been out of the, I lived away for a little while, and I stop, come back home now. All as a child, that accent be hitting hard sometimes. Bitch, pull it back, okay? Look. Anyway, so after, okay, so during the candle making process, Morgan got emotional. Cynthia comforted her. I appreciated that a lot. Like, I really like Cynthia. And even though I feel like Morgan is a little crazy or whatever, I still, like I said, respect the way the women have handled themselves in relationship to each other in this process, right? So Tony comes to Morgan later on to talk to her, alone in the room. And he tells her how he's a giver, a protector, a provider. He will help her grow and support her and lead her. It's all about Morgan, like, right now. And she was like, that's all what I want to hear, that's all what I want to hear. But he was really like mad because she was emotional about feeling like she hurt Lyndon's feelings. And Andre had to explain to him, she feels bad. It doesn't mean that she loves him or, likes him more than you. But if you don't want to hurt somebody, it hurts to hurt them. Like, I don't like, like, is that not hard to understand? But of course, it's not easy for you to understand. And this is what I be talking about when I say that I want men to stop being fake about this shit. You don't really respect women. You don't really value them the way you pretend as if you do. But a man that can do all of those things that Tony described, for a lot of men, that's still what they're supposed to be. Even if they're trying to get a woman, try to trick a woman into a relationship, they still are going to pretend like they're the provider, they're the protector, they're gonna lead, they're gonna support. They're gonna say all of that shit, but they not really about that shit because they can't even do it for themselves. Because how are you gonna tell somebody that you're a protector and a provider, but as soon as you got into a conversation with another man, you was willing to throw that woman under the bus? That's not protection or provision. And that's where you went to first. To me, a man that'll say anything in front of other men to make himself look better, and he'll sacrifice his relationship with a woman that he cares about in order to make himself look good in front of other men. Yeah, my nigga, you a simp. I'm sorry. Like, that's what a simp is to me. When you will lie and perpetrate on some bullshit to other men so that you can get those other men to like you. Meanwhile, you're throwing the woman under the bus that you pretending like you want to do all of this for. But when it came time to protect her, you didn't do it. When it came down to it, you didn't do that. Like, so him talking all of this shit, I don't believe none of that. I don't believe none of that shit you talking about. You just running your mouth as far as I'm concerned, Tony. Okay? But she forgave him, which I thought was so weird. Like, you gonna forgive him, but did you hear what Cynthia said? I'm paying attention to the way a man treats me when he's angry, and I want y'all to remember that. Cynthia has learned a lesson, and she's trying to show y'all something. Okay? Anyway, Blake talks to Tommy. I said that Morgan asked Lyndon if he's ready for what she's ready for. He's not, so she has to let him go. And I have been saying that since the beginning, that I felt like Lyndon and Morgan are not compatible in the way that Morgan is ready for marriage, children, because she's getting older. So she wants a very structured lifestyle. Meanwhile, Lyndon is like a bartender, free-spirited, kind of just living his life, So I feel like he should find a woman that is more loose, you know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about loose as far as not too pressed about getting married and having children. Like, you need to find a woman that's just like living her life as well. Like, I'm experiencing life. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, it's not that big of a deal. You need to find somebody like that, Lyndon. But outside of that, I want Morgan to go to therapy. Morgan was talking that therapy shit. I want Morgan to make sure that she is in therapy all the time. Okay? Just like me, girl. It's not just you. It's me too. Because I feel like she has some good moments. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how you want to think somebody's crazy because they're near a nigga's hair and stuff in his sleep? Mm-hmm. But then, the moments when she was really like, in a hot seat, I feel like she still tried to handle the people around her with care. And I feel like, I don't know if that's for the show or not. I do feel like Morgan still has a little crazy to her, obviously, because she's still attracted to fucking Tony. Obviously, something ain't right. That's why I feel like you should be in therapy. But we see next week, she says that she would like for her and Tony to be in counseling before, they really dig into the relationship like that. Like, just start out going to counseling because, they need to communicate better. And I think whoever his family member was, or who, maybe an ex, I don't know. I think it was a family member. A family member was like, no, I don't like that. Now, it was edited together, so, they could have edited together anything. But if anybody needs to be in therapy, it's a man that feels like he needs to lie to other men to save face while throwing his woman under the bus. If anybody needs to go to therapy, it's a man that's that insecure. And because I personally feel like amongst a group full of men, stop being fucking followers all the time. And that's what I noticed. And it's cool to be like, not the strongest personality and all of that, but to be a fucking follower as a grown man. And I say you a follower because you care more about how those men feel about you than how you feel about yourself and how you really are. Because the truth of the matter is, that's some grimy ass shit that Tony did. That was some grimy ass shit that he said about Morgan. So to me, that makes me feel like he could never really love you. He could never really respect you because he's already offered you over to somebody like you were a fucking lent out a rented car or some shit like that. Like, it was just weird. Like, that's not a good sign. We knew Lyndon wasn't ready for love when he was super offended at Corvea saying she needed her man to have his own place. That was another thing. I've been saying that, girl. So you right. We been new. I really like Lyndon. He's easygoing and he's honest with others and himself. I do like him, but he another one that needs to be real with himself because he a little passive aggressive as far as I'm concerned. Lyndon would match better with Mercedes, but she doesn't want him. You know why? Because Mercedes is not the carefree, and I said the same thing, but she's not as carefree and young-minded as she comes off. She's petite and she's small, and she knows how that comes off to people, so she uses it at her advantage the way anybody should use something to their advantage that they have, okay? And if it suits the world to see you as cute and small and petite and a little woman and all of that, then you'll kind of live into that. You'll kind of promote that energy. But essentially, I feel like Mercedes is a lot like Morgan. Like, they want a certain type of lifestyle. They want a certain type of man, and they don't want to feel like they can't depend on a man. And a man that tells me he has a roommate at almost 40 years old means financially he's not stable, meaning he's not financially dependable. And there are women that are not at an age where they can be with somebody that's not financially dependable. It's just, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole nother thing to get it out the mud with a man. It's a whole nother thing to meet a man at almost 40 and he still doesn't have what's required. But he is a good guy, but he needs to find somebody that is more in tune with the lifestyle that he lives instead of giving off that nerd. And he's not a nerd, but y'all know how there's the nerd that wants the head cheerleader. The head cheerleader has her choice between the jock and the nerd, and she might really like the nerd, vibe with him, have a good time with him, but she likes the toxicity that in the look of what it looks like to be with the football player. So she'll choose the football player. The nerd will be ignoring some other nerdy girl that was in love with him because he wanted to be with the cheerleader. So that's the vibe that Lyndon gives me. Somebody that's going to always want a woman that is somewhat out of his league and then feel a way about it. I don't think Lyndon got offended by Corvée. He was more like, it is what it is to me. Nah, he felt the way. He didn't blow it up or anything, but he absolutely felt the way. But yeah, y'all. Oh, my sister is calling. I'm gonna have to call her back. But yeah, y'all. So that was Ready to Love. it's cute or whatever, but yeah. It's not giving like it's supposed to, okay? But can y'all do me a favor before we get into love and marriage? DC. Also, Lyndon was trying to get his music out there. That's what y'all said. Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, he felt away. He mentioned it more than once. He did. You are right about Mercedes. She likes Anthony, but she was not ready to be a stepmom, right? I took him living with his family as a good money move. I thought Lyndon said he had a roommate. He didn't say he was living with his family. And let me tell you something. Living with your family is only a good money move if you are saving your money to buy your own property. If you're not saving money to buy your own property, then you're just skating with not having to be responsible with the things that your parents are responsible for. Like the house and the insurance and all of those things. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Oh child. They said Jonathan Majors was officially charged, huh? Ugh. Okay, child. We're gonna have to do a little cute BondyBlue show after I get my crawfish. Okay, members only. But anyway, he said roommate. Okay. Why Blake? Just because you have it doesn't mean you need to spend it. This is true. This is absolutely true, and I understand that. But I also feel like at the end of the day, I don't see anything wrong with him wanting a roommate and all of that, but it still gives you need a roommate because financially you can't afford to live on your own. And if a woman doesn't want to be with someone that can't afford to financially live on their own at the point where she is living financially on her own, then I understand that being somebody that's not dependable financially. Um Lyndon living with a roommate is a cultural thing. Is that what y'all think? Y'all think that's a cultural thing? I think it's cheaper for me to have a roommate than to pay out of pocket. And that's cool. That's fine. Which is why I said he should find somebody that's a little bit more relaxed in what they want out of life. But if you're a grown ass woman that wants to get married and have children and all of those things, no, I'm not almost 40 looking to move in with a man who has a fucking roommate. It's not that hard. Like it's not that hard, y'all. Um Okay, so if you are a member of my channel, you can either be a member on my website and you get the app, the Spaces app. And when I put out a post on the forum with the link, you get a notification or email. If you're a Patreon member, you get an email. And if you are on YouTube, then you'll get a notification, hopefully from YouTube on the community page. But yeah. And I'll normally let everybody know, like as a public post, what time the members should be looking for their links. Also, if you're a member, you should be a part of my Discord because the Discord also gets the links to everything, and it's a place where everybody is. Okay. As a West Indian, my son is 26 and lives with me. Cool. Listen, I know a lot of grown men that live at home with their parents. It's okay. But also, that doesn't mean that a woman who lives alone should have to be with you because I want to see that you can take care of yourself. If you can't take care of yourself, then you can't take care of me and us. And I want to be with someone who can take care of us. That's all. Y'all, this is not really that harsh. Like, I don't know why everybody, it's not cultural. It's socioeconomic. That's what I'm saying. I feel like this is not about a culture thing. This is about money. And a 26-year-old, I can understand. Hell, even up to 30. But at a certain point, it's giving what you gonna do. Or are you just trying to wait for your parents to die so you can inherit their house? And that's fine, but do you know how to take care of that house? Do you know anything about the taxes? Do you know anything about the insurance? And the thing that really like annoys me is that y'all act like this community is not full of grown ass black men that live at home with their moms, live at home with their sisters, and don't know how to like take care of any of this shit, don't have life insurance, don't have none of that shit, and then y'all on, online begging people to help y'all to bury them. So what I'm saying is, at some point you have to stand on your own 2 feet merely for proof that you can do it. And so if you're not doing that, I feel like then you're not ready for what some of these women are ready for. And that's just what it is, Okay, then when your 26-year-old son got his down payment to move into his own house, that's great. But at the same time, if he's still living with you at 35, merely because that's easier for him, then a woman doesn't have to decide that he is worthy to date her if he can't prove he can do what she can do, which is take care of herself. And I do understand that culturally people feel like it's okay to all live in one house. It's not that I have an issue with that, but what I have learned from that is that it doesn't matter what your culture is. If you don't force grown-ass people to fend for themselves at some point, naturally, they will never do it. Or they're going to wait until they can find a wife that's going to become a parental figure to them. But I feel you, you know what I'm saying? Like 26 is not that old. We're talking about these men on this show on Ready to Love that are almost 40. You know what I'm saying? Exactly, Bonnie. Lyndon never offered a plan. It sounded like he was fine to continue living with a roommate for the foreseeable future. Like, it just sounded like he has a more lackadaisical way of looking at life, and that is not a problem. But you have to be with somebody that's on that same wave, okay? And just like, hold up, we're not talking about, I'm sorry, y'all, not Love and Marriage DC. We about to get into Put a Ring on It first, because that's what I really wanted to talk about. And I'm glad y'all brought that up. Do you have life skills to sustain you? And that's another thing. Like, what you gonna do, bitch? You know? Hold up, y'all. Let me see. I'm trying to find the graphic for Put a Ring on It. Where is it? Girl, hold up. I thought I had made one. That's not it. Let me see. There we go. Okay, I thought I had put it in there, girl. Anyway, my bad. We're here. Make sure you like the video, you guys. Like the video. Right, Lyndon isn't looking for anything serious. Not ready to love. That's all. I agree, Bondi. If I'm 33 with my own home car, good job, and with 2 kids, why can't you do it as a grown-ass man? Like, come on. Like, I mean, that's all. Like, really, you know what I'm saying, girl? My son's dad offered to build him a house in South Carolina where he is retiring this summer. I am in my emotions. Oh, don't be. They got to spread their wings so they can fly. Okay. These children can't fly on one wing. I'm just being stupid, y'all. All right, let's get into Put a Ring on It. Because I really need to understand Ricky's situation. That's why I wanted to bring that up to y'all, because I needed to understand what was going on in Ricky and them household. Because to me, I'm looking at Catherine like, Catherine, can I just... Okay. Catherine needs to be single. I'm just going to tell y'all off rip. First of all, I feel like Catherine seems like she's not strong enough in her security as a woman. And I hate to say it like that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not to fuck over anybody. You know what I'm saying? It's not but there's just an energy off her that I'm reading that feels like you're in this relationship and there's this like, I need this to work vibe. I don't want to call it desperation, but it's something in there that feels like this relationship with him is more so coming from a place of you not being fully like secure in your womanhood. That's why you're in this relationship, because you're not secure in who you are. And that's why I feel like she needs to be single so she can find herself, because I feel like she doesn't know who she is. And I hate to say it like that because I don't know her, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just giving my observation, my commentary, okay? And the reason why I say that is because I see her dressing in a way that doesn't show that she feels good about herself. She's very pretty. The wig is laid. But essentially, why did you have on the sweats to go on your date? Why did you do that? Why? To make Ricky feel comfortable? Why? Also, if you don't want to live in a house with Ricky's family, why did you move into the house with Ricky? Also, if you really wanted to be married, why did you move into the house with Ricky? Like, you know, and I know it's probably some financial shit because, y'all, when they were talking about her moving in with Ricky and Ricky taking financial responsibility for everything, I'm like, now, is it your house, Ricky, or is it your parents' house and y'all all living with his parents? Because that's what it's giving. It's not giving, oh, you know, I have my house and then my family needed help and then everybody just kind of moved in with me. It's giving, y'all are all living at the parents' house is what it's giving. Okay. And I don't know what that's about, but I feel like it shows me that Catherine has done a lot of things that she wasn't necessarily happy with to be in a relationship where she's not getting what she needs. So yeah, it absolutely feels like I want Catherine to leave this relationship merely so she can go find herself, find who she is, get some confidence about herself. And after that, if she looks at Ricky and she still wants to be with him, then fine. But if not, then that means you weren't supposed to be with him from the beginning. So I'm just gonna go ahead and tell y'all that's how I feel about that. But let's take in notes. Okay, so Chance is arguing on behalf of Dunbar. He's a king. I just can't wait to be king. Y'all kill me with all of this king, you know, conversation. Like, y'all kill me with this shit. And it's because I feel like, why do we have to do like the delusions of grandeur shit? Like, in real life, you can be whatever amazing individual you want to be, but in real life, you are not in charge of a patriarchy. You're not a monarch. Okay? You don't, you know, oversee. You don't oversee like this whole area right here. Like, you're not a dignitary. Like, sometimes I want y'all to be real with yourselves because I feel like the delusions of grandeur of, oh, he's a king and he's this and he's that. But when it all boils down to it, you on a show called Put a Ring on It because he wants to marry you and you're not ready. So what we here for? What we here for? Dr. Peach, aka Dr. Stacy, okay, I just want y'all to know, you know, because we just starting this, so I want y'all to know that I'm going to be calling her Dr. Peach because that was her name on Thin Line Between Love and Hate. But she a doctor. So Dr. Stacy, aka Dr. Peach. Dr. Peach tells them to treat the dates that the way they would want to be treated. Meaning the way Dunbar handled the date last week, that was wrong because you wouldn't want anybody to disrespect you and son you like that. So why would you treat that young man the way you did? Okay. Dunbar says that Dr. Stacy missed the whole thing. She didn't miss anything. I cannot stand when because someone does not like that they're being called out for their petty, insecure behavior or their controlling behavior, all of a sudden, oh, the person, they just didn't get it. No. We're clear. We got it. We understand. Okay? We're not saying two different things. We're saying the same thing. You just think what you're saying is okay. And I think that something's wrong with it. That's the disconnect. You think that the controlling and pissing on your spot, okay, as y'all do, both him, Chance and Dunbar pissing on the leg of each other in front of the date so that the date can know this is my person, this is my territory. Lame as fuck. Like, I'ma just be real with y'all. Lame as fuck. I don't care. Like, all of this extra performing, oh, this mine in my territory, and I just want to make sure that he understood I'm not your friend. Nigga, you are not his daddy either. What you mean you're not his friend? He knew that you wasn't his friend when he came here to pick up your girlfriend to take her out on a date. He knew y'all wasn't friends. Nobody needed that. But you needed to assert it because you're insecure. Because you felt like when another man walked into the room, all of a sudden, the situation between you and your woman was supposed to change. And that's where the insecurity comes in. Okay? The fact that y'all felt the need to even do all of that in front of these other dates. Like, if you're secure in your shit, first of all, why are you here? And then second of all, why doing all of this? Oh my God. Yo. And then Chance talking about I don't mind daddy energy. I was just like, oh, you don't? You don't? Why aren't y'all married? Somebody tell me. Okay? Yes, it is absolutely giving paid actors. It's giving we gonna come on here and say problematic, crazy shit so that we can excite the people on, on behind the TV, the people that's watching us. They're gonna get all excited. It's gonna make for good TV, but it's not real. That's what it's giving. It's giving it's not real because it don't make sense. Okay? She don't mind daddy energy. Bitch, how you don't mind daddy energy if you had a daddy? Anyway, child, I'm gonna let y'all know that's because a lot of these daddies be raising their daughters to be male-centered and male-identified. Not teaching them to really take care of and be about themselves, but to be a mate for some nigga. Okay? Anyway, so Joya discusses her issue with Joshua not giving her any boundaries before the date because it made her feel like she didn't know what was good, what was bad. And I'm like, girl, just go on the date. It's a date. Just enjoy the date. Like, I don't know. I feel like they were trying to create an issue where there was none. Joshua says it was all good. It was just a test of the ego. I like the way he handled it, for real. Ricky realizes from Catherine's date that he needs to step it up. He felt like because he was paying the bills because she moved in with him that, he didn't, he forgot. Not that he didn't have to do those things, but that he forgot about the little things because he's paying all the big bills. I'm like, are you paying all the big bills or are your parents paying all the big bills? I need to know because I feel like he was using that as a way to, to try to act like him not being romantic was okay because I'm paying all the big bills. Nigga, if you was already living in that house paying bills, you're not paying any more bills than you already were. I don't know why y'all do that. Why do y'all men do that? If you were already living in that house paying bills, Ricky, then you weren't taking on any extra financial, responsibility by her moving into a house that you were already paying the bills in. Like, girl, I was just like, or his parents. Like, I was like, whatever, Ricky, you're on bullshit. Anyway, Catherine also enjoyed her date because he had really good listening skills. She often feels like Ricky just listens to respond. And she also said that she wasn't going to give him a second date because he had baby mama, kids, ex-wife. He had a similar situation to Ricky, and that's already an issue for her with the way Ricky co-parents with his ex-wife. So that's the reason why she didn't want to go forward with another date with her date, because they have a similar situation. And Dr. Stacy was like, listen, at the end of the day, you have to be present. Just because he has a similar situation doesn't mean he's going to handle his co-parenting situation in the same way that Ricky does. Okay? Child, if he's not living with his parents, he probably not handling the co-parent situation the way Ricky is. Okay? I'm just saying, y'all know what that's like when somebody, when men have kids, a lot of the times they rely on their parents heavily or their mom heavily when it comes to helping them take care of their children. Whereas with the mothers, a lot of the times, not all, but a lot of the times, women kind of have to figure their shit out for themselves. The man go get the kid, drop the kid off by his mama house or some shit like that. Y'all know, not all the time, but I've seen it quite a few times. I have. But yes. Dr. Stacy tells all of the couples to take their hands off the wheel and just let the shit happen, because you need to see how everyone is going to naturally respond so that you can find out, what's real. If y'all really supposed to be together. A lot of times we stay in these relationships and stay in the confines of something that isn't working because we feel like that's how it has to be, or we feel stuck, or we feel like we're too scared to move on. We're not going to be able to find somebody else. So you basically settle out of fear of having to actually go out there and be single and all of that type of shit. I get it, child. But, ultimately, some of these relationships that y'all try so hard to stay in, y'all need to let go of. All right? And I'm just saying, Ricky and Catherine, that's what it feels like. Joshua goes on a date with this real thick-ass girl named Celine, child. Celine walked through the door like, I just want something. She didn't say that, but it was giving one of the homegirls from Baby Boy. She looked like one of the homegirls from Baby Boy. That's what it was. She looked like, y'all know who she looked like. She looked like P old lady. Okay, looked like Sweet P old lady on Baby Boy. That's what she looked like. She was real cute. And she talked about how, she ain't tripping about kids in marriage, which I liked. Also, she speaks a little Spanish. All right. So she's a little well-traveled. Okay. We love a multi-dimensional fine-ass black woman. Okay. We love it. It was cute. Catherine moved into Ricky's house with his parents. The sister also lives there. Ricky's sister lives there with her 2 kids, and the brother drops by often. And I want y'all to understand, I don't see anything wrong with a whole bunch of grown people contributing to one household if it works for them. I really don't. I don't have a problem with that. However, I don't know how that can be healthy for somebody's marriage, specifically because a lot of times people don't know how to respect boundaries when all the adults are living in one house. Especially if, it's like the parents and sisters and siblings and a girlfriend. It definitely gives, you could probably feel ganged up on, or people can be all in y'all business and maybe make situations worse than they have to be, simply because other people are privy to the conversations when they really not, they shouldn't be. Y'all should be able to have arguments and disagreements amongst yourselves without the parents or the sister or the sister's kids or the brother knowing the ins and outs of every conversation. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, y'all. Yeah, I don't know. If it works for you, great. But it's something about this situation that makes me feel like it doesn't really work, but we're going to act like it does. Okay. She would like to see if they could live on their own. We would all like to see it, girl. Sheila isn't here for the baby mama drama, okay, because Sheila is Ricky's date, and she came in there with the red locks, 35, a nurse, real sexy. I was just like, oh, she real cute. She real cute, y'all. I was just like, oh. Now, I don't think she need to go on another date with Ricky, but I just felt like Sheila was real cute. I was just kind of like, well, all right, Sheila. Hey, girl. Girl, you my age. What's up? Anyway, no, I'm just saying she was real cute. I liked it. I liked it all. I liked the dress. I liked the hair. All of that shit. Okay. Catherine clocked how when she went on her date, she had to look like a damn tomboy, but this girl came to the door in her freakum dress. I said, whose fault is that? We need more information on Catherine. What's going on here? Okay. But we did hear a conversation between Ricky and Sheila where he basically explained that there are times when his ex-wife is performing, because she's a performer, so he will just stay the night at her house and watch the kids. And I'm like, even though I feel like there should be trust, I also feel like if you got a whole big ass house with your mama, your daddy, your sister, they 2 kids, I mean, why can't you get your kids, bring them to your house, and have her come get them in the morning, okay, when she finished doing whatever she got to do? Why do you always have to go to her house and do it? Like, that type of stuff. And I'm not saying he's doing anything, because I do recognize that sometimes it is easier to be where the kids are, so that you don't have to like pack stuff and all of that. You just go get the kid. You just go over there, you watch him, she come home, you leave. I get it. But I also feel like it's something I'm still not getting. I'm still not understanding. I'm still not getting. Why y'all commenting one letter? Stop. But yeah, I was like, something ain't right. We're gonna figure it out. We don't understand just yet, but it is just real something ain't right up in here. So anyway, Chance was struggling before Dunbar's date. She says that, he could find love. And he says, I'm not trying to find love. I'm just trying to learn from these dates how I can be a better man for Chance. Okay. He asks, what's his curfew? And she says that he has to be inside before the street lights come on or he's sleeping outside. I'm like, do y'all have a parental type of kink where, he wants to feel like he's fucking his mom and you want to feel like you're fucking your dad? Like, what's the kink with y'all having to like exert this very parental like situation over each other? Like, what is that about? What is that about? Like, I don't know. I know. Do I have any mods in the chat? If I do, help. Okay. But yeah, where was I? Yeah, I was just like, I don't understand. Like, why do y'all have to act like y'all are each other's parents? It's very weird. But here come Crystal, y'all. And remember what I told y'all about Ready to Love and how we lead. No, I think Goody Gabba's ascension intentions, I think she might like have her phone in her pocket or something. And, is like commenting like because her phone is somewhere. I think that's what it is. But anyway, because she's in here all the time, so I don't think she's trolling or anything. I just think she might be pressing buttons and don't know she pressing buttons. Okay, y'all, what was I saying? Yes, Chance and Dunbar getting ready for the submission Christian that is Crystal. Okay, and Chance had to sit on Dunbar's lap and put his arms around her chest and tell the girl that there's no touching, no kissing. Don't look at him under his neck. I'm like, the nigga's short. Like, her vantage point, she's going to be looking down on him anyway. Okay? Anyway, but she was like, I had to let her know. I had to reclaim my throne. It was like, when were you dethroned? When were you dethroned, ma'am? See, that's what I'm talking about. It's just a lot of like weird ass doing the most. Just a lot of weird ass doing the most. Crystal's outfit was horrible. She needed a better top at least. Girl, listen. He was happy that she was dressed modestly because y'all know it's so important that these men feel as if they have ownership of your body. So you can't just be showing their body off the way you want to. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, they can do whatever they want to do with their bodies. Christian Keys. But girl, listen, Christian Keys pissed me off. I love him. And when he said, I said, nigga, not the way you've been all up and through the Tyler Perry plays with your nipples oiled up for the first half of your career. And now that you can make money off writing and producing, now you want to cover your titties up and all of a sudden, I don't want my woman to be showing her chest, to be showing her body to everybody. That's my, I was just like, y'all be out here doing the most. But that's a conversation for another time. But that's what it made me think about when Dunbar was, oh, she was covered up. I was just like, oh my God, like dressed like a church mom, right? Dressed in a way that makes you feel like she's going to stay home and cook while you're out in the street doing whatever you want to do. Right, child? I cannot. Anyway, Crystal thought that Dunbar was Tay Diggs. I said, nah, she being full of shit. He may look similar, but child, no, he do not have the Tay Diggs effect. Child, when Tay Diggs smiles, like it's like a beach pops up behind him. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come to Jamaica, man. Like I always go back. Whenever I see him smile, I absolutely go back to seeing him smile on how Stella got her groove back and everything goes ding when he smiles. Ain't nobody confusing Tay Diggs for Dunbar. Cut it out. Okay, now this is a first date, y'all. This is a first date. This lady don't even know this man like that. But the conversation that they're having is, my Christianity, my spirituality, it's very important to me because I understand I'm going to be submissive to you. I understand. I know my role and I'm very happy with doing that. And I'm just kind of like, here y'all go. Don't even know a nigga and already telling him I'm going to give up my autonomy to you. Okay, I don't even know you. You could have babies in the basement, all I know, but I'm going to offer up all of my autonomy and I'm going to submit to you simply because you have a penis. I want y'all to like learn this connection between religion, submitting, slavery, and misogyny. I want y'all to connect the dots because I feel like when people really start connecting these dots, they can stop having people like, get them up here, get control of their mind. Because that's what I feel like a lot of that is. It's mind control. And I feel like Dunbar was so giddy and excited when this woman who he does not know told him that she was going to submit to him. Ooh, oh my God, won't he do it? A woman that's going to submit to me and do whatever I tell her to do. A lot of y'all have a kink. A lot of y'all men do not understand that you do want to be able to tell a woman what to do, and you want her to be like, I want to do whatever you want to do. Tell me what you want to do. There's a space for that. It's called a kink in sex. In a space. There is an absolute space for the kink that you niggas are into when y'all talking about submission and all of that. But in real life, understand what submission means in a relationship is that you are the only one responsible for the financials. Understand that, okay? If you want submission to this degree, understand that you are the one that is required to pay for everything. You're required to lead, okay? So don't forget that when shit get hard and you want to be stressed out because, it's so much pressure to take care of myself and this woman and pay all of these bills, but you want submission. Those two things come hand in hand. Now, if you want to be with another grown-ass adult and y'all come together and be partners and they have strengths and weaknesses and you have strengths and weaknesses and y'all discuss what they are and you do this and I do this because it's what we better at. Versus the idea that simply because I have a dick, I'm supposed to be in charge of the girls. Like, I really want y'all to get out of that headspace. Courtney, thank you so much for the super chat. Chance goes hard for him because she's trying to convince herself their relationship is normal. Girl, you know it's not. You know it's not. Dr. Peach meets with Chance and Dunbar alone. And Chance was aggravated by the fact that they were the first couple to meet with Dr. Stacy alone. I was like, why? Y'all obviously have the most issues because y'all have a controlling relationship. You think it's okay for this nigga to act like your daddy, and y'all not telling us what the problem is. Because if you're happy with the way he's treating you, then why don't you just marry him? He's your king. You want him to lead you. Let a man be a man. All of those things you talking about. Be in a relationship with him then. Marry him. What are we here for? Okay? So Dr. Peach comes to sit down with them so that she can understand what they're there for. And I can hear Chance having this conversation with him before Dr. Stacy gets there, where she's explaining how I need that. I need a man that's going to do this and do that. And I'm just kind of like, do you? Do you? Do you really? Especially considering the fact that the first thing Dunbar said he had an issue with was the fact that you don't submit. And then Dr. Stacy says, well, she says that she takes care of you. So what's the problem? And then he says, well, I feel like when it comes to making decisions, she'll confer to her father and ask him his opinion before she asks me for mine. So it's kind of like my opinion doesn't matter because she'll still go and ask him for his opinion. I said, so let me get this straight. You're upset because this woman turns to her father for advice instead of turning to you, her boyfriend, for advice. That's a red flag to me that you would even compare yourself to her father. Y'all, when I tell y'all I would have a fucking issue with that, like, I want to know how Chance's dad feels about him. Because I would be looking at him like, so what exactly is your problem? What you want my daughter to do? Only listen to you? And never listen to anybody else's opinion because you know best in every aspect, in everything you know better? That sounds weird. And honestly, if you do have the best advice and she goes to her dad and asks him and both of y'all have the same advice, then she'll probably eventually just be like, child, my daddy probably gonna say the same thing anyway. But this tells me that there's some disconnect there. But she says that that's not true, and he couldn't even really give her a firm example of a time when that happened. So to Dr. Stacy, it seems like you're making up an issue. And Chance said the same thing. She felt like he's just pulling something out of his ass so he can have a problem. Okay? But you know what he did say? He said, like a lot of, kids on the playground, you like somebody and you're not getting the attention that you want to get from them, so you act out. And I'm like, the fact that grown ass 40-something-year-old men use that analogy like that's supposed to work. Do you understand that when you tell me you're responding in a fucking childlike manner as an adult man, that is a red flag? Then he said that his responsibility is to figure out when he needs attention from Chance and to make sure he gets that attention from her. Instead of trying to recognize why you're so thirsty for attention in the first place. Why are you so, in the way he explained his worth, you guys, it seems as if his worth only comes to him when he's able to tell this woman what to do. I feel like there are a lot of men like that, where y'all feel like I'm not valuable to her if I can't tell her what to do. If she doesn't come to me and follow every word, then I'm not valuable to her. And I feel like y'all need to go to therapy and figure that out, because that's not true. Just because somebody doesn't see you as an authority, it does not mean that you're not of value. You're just not an authority. And you really shouldn't be. It's a relationship. It's a partnership, not a power struggle. It's not supposed to be. And the fact that y'all make these relationships such a power struggle, it means that you don't just want your own power in the relationship, you want hers too. So if there's a power struggle and you take her power, who's going to advocate for her when she needs something that you're not providing? I'm just saying, because that's what ends up happening. Like you take the woman's autonomy. And so whenever, she feels like she needs something from you, she no longer can feel like comfortable expressing that to you, because then you're going to get upset and turn it and flip it and make it seem like, well, you don't do this for me. Because that's what y'all like to do. Men who act like Dunbar anyway. Y'all like to flip shit. As a woman who seeks her dad's advice, that will require a conversation at best. Like, dude, why is this an issue for you? Exactly. She talks to her dad. You have an issue with her talking to her dad? Yeah, it absolutely given trying to isolate her. So we know that's a whole nother red flag. And then he was like, I have a lot of fear. And she was like, all right, brother, tell me, why do you have this fear? And we didn't get to it, but he starts to burst into tears. And I was just kind of like, why I feel like you manipulating me with your tears? I don't even know what you about to say, but I feel like you manipulating me with your tears right now, nigga. And I feel like you trying to do this to Dr. Peach too, because you already know you in the hot seat. So if you burst into tears, if a woman is anywhere near male identified and male centered, she's going to instantly go to comfort your emotions because you're crying and you're a man. And whenever a man shows emotion like this, women are supposed to take full stock of his tears. That's supposed to matter to you, because men don't do this. So him being emotional, I believe, is a manipulation tool to make Dr. Peach's defenses go down. So she won't be on guard to hear what he's saying as a manipulation, because he's crying now. So now he needs to be comforted. So she'll put all of her, deductive reasoning skills in the back of her head. Thank you, Goody Gaber's Ascension Intention. She said, my bad, my keyboard bugged out. Yikes. I knew that, girl. Chance's dad has probably raised her completely opposite of how she's performing femininity in her relationship. That's what I was thinking too. I'm like, girl, anybody raised by a father usually does not do all of this. Oh, I need to acquiesce my power to you, bullshit. Like, it's extra. It's given extra. Not even in a real way, like in an extra way. So yeah. Dr. Peach is gonna be done with them. Oh yeah, because Chance think that she about to argue somebody down and make a good point, when really it's like, girl, if you want to be in a relationship with a man that controls you, go marry him and get off my set. Okay. Sag Babe, thank you for the super chat. Paid actors. They are. It's giving paid actors, but we'll roll with it because we know for a fact that there are men like Dunbar and women like Chance. So we'll fuck with the paid actors for the moment, okay? But that's really all I had to say about put a ring on it. But it's given thus far. I'm enjoying it. Now we're about to get into Love and Marriage DC. But once again, 553 of y'all in here. It's only 339 likes. I'm gonna need for y'all to make those likes match. Please. Please. All right. All right, girl, hold up. Okay, Love and Marriage DC. Okay. How are y'all feeling about Love and Marriage DC? Do y'all feel like it's giving now? Do y'all feel like it's giving? How do y'all feel? Let me know in the comments. It's okay. I it's okay. It's the mid-season finale. It's okay, you know. Did y'all pay attention to the list of things he had an issue with? Speaking to her father about her book, her money, her deals. He want to control her. He wants to control her and controlling the money. See, whenever men are controlling like that, like y'all, that's one of the main reasons why I did not care about getting with a man that was going to financially take care of me. Also, I was 21 when me and Larry got together. We were together very young. So that was one of the main things. Like, I'm not expecting you to have what my father has because you're not my father's age. So I was never like expecting anybody to take care of me. I was also taught to take care of myself and to not depend on any men because men weren't dependable. My dad was, but he raised me to take care of myself. And because of that, I was never really looking for that in relationships because I also knew that men who are controlling, like my father was, love to use their money to control you. They do. They love to use the financial support that they give you as a way to control you. I have told y'all many times, like, if y'all don't know, like, I feel like, you know, I didn't even realize that was a thing, but I was absolutely like financially abused in my relationship with my father. Anytime I did not want to do something that he wanted me to do, he would withhold support from me. And the only time I feel like you should do that to a kid is when they're trying to live off of you without doing anything to, you know, provide for themselves. You're not in school, you don't have a job, but you think you're gonna live here and not pay any bills and not have to take care of yourself and just live off me. Yeah, no, kick your ass out. I'm sorry, you gotta go. But like, I didn't want to go to the school my dad wanted me to go to, so he told me that I couldn't take my car. He wasn't gonna help me pay for room and board, like that type of shit. So I, like, off rip, was never going to be depending on anybody like that financially because I had already been in a relationship. Okay? Because, you know, your parental situation is a relationship. I had already been abused financially. That had already happened. So I was just like, you know, we're not going to do that again. We're going to get it together and we gonna figure it out. But I'm not ever going to be at a disadvantage in that way in my life ever again. Okay? Never again. Do you hear me? That one time was enough. Okay? Men know this, and that's why they teach their daughters not to depend on men. For real. Like, absolutely. Absolutely. I was always taught to not depend on anybody else. Always. Okay? So y'all, let's get into Love and Marriage DC. Ashley and Quick throw a black girl magic party for her daughter. That was super cute. But it wasn't really much to the scene except for Ashley, Quick, and Alicia talking about how Joy is not trying to hear Ashley's apology about spraying her "I'm really married" information. And Alicia and Quick are just like, listen, you can't force her to want to talk to you if she's not ready to talk to you. So just let it go. You've done all you can do. Just let it go. That's what they told her. I think that was good advice. But Ashley is a controlling ass mean girl. I feel like Ashley, and don't get me wrong, y'all. Like right now, Like, I've had friendships where it's like you do something, to somebody, you apologize for it, you want to just move past it, and they want to hold on to it. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of leaves you at a point where you're just like, well, if you want to hold on to it and you don't want to take my apology, you don't want to talk, you don't want to hear me out, well, there's nothing I can really do about that. You know what I'm saying? But it does bother you when you want to be friends with somebody, when you do care about somebody, and you want to make it right and they're not hearing you out. It can be hurtful. Absolutely. I don't think that's what's happening with Ashley and Joy. I feel like Ashley doesn't like the fact that she has to ask Joy for the apology. And she can't flip it and make it seem like Joy is just as wrong. Because essentially, she didn't technically call you phony and fake, even though she did. Joy, we're going to have to talk about the way you like the backpedaling pussy pop. I don't care about nothing else you talking about. If you don't stop throwing shit out there and then not standing on it after the fact, I'm going to be real tired of you in a minute. Because I don't understand why. This is like the third time she done said something on this show. And then when it gets back to the other person, she say that's not what she said. But really, it's semantics. That is what you said. And now you want to argue that, oh, that's not the words I use. But bitch, that's what you meant. Okay? But ultimately, y'all, I feel like Ashley is mad because she wasn't the one to dictate how the relationship went. That's what I feel like. I feel like because Ashley is the mean girl, she feels like she's supposed to be able to dictate the way the relationship goes. So if y'all not going to be cool no more, bitch, you can't decide that we not going to be cool no more. I'm Queen B. I decide if we not going to be cool no more. That's what I felt Ashley was really on in this moment, okay? So Joy not ready, girl. Arena talks to Joy about it, and she's still mad at Ashley. And she told, she's still mad that she told Alicia she was already married. She says that it's obvious. We already knew what it was. I believe that Clifton wanted the public wedding. Ashley did not. So Clifton and Ashley went ahead and got married behind the scenes for Joy, and then kept it quiet so that they could try to make a TV opportunity out of it on the show for Clifton. Okay, that's what I think it really was, and I said that from the beginning. Okay, but they are married, and they were trying to have a ceremony for the world. And the way Joy said that let me know that that was for him and not something that she really wanted. Ashley, isn't going to rush Joy into having a conversation. She's going to have the conversation when she good, well, and ready. And I'm not mad at her for that, but I also feel like you just want to have a problem too. As much as Joy is acting like Ashley is the one that just wants to have a problem, I feel like she's the one that just wants to have a problem too, as well, in conjunction with. Okay, both of y'all. Okay. And Arena had to let Joy know that she wasn't cool with the fact that Ashley sprayed her business like that. She didn't even tell Jamie about it, okay? And I was just like, okay, Arena. Arena said, yeah, girl, I could keep a secret. I said, oh, all right, girl, you better keep a secret. But we know, child, we know there are certain women that can absolutely keep a secret. And it's usually because they have to keep the secrets in their own household. Yes, Bondy, Joy gives me real fake and never stand on nothing she say. Ashley kind of proved Joy's point by exposing Joy's secret. Yeah, Ashley ain't shit for that. I'm gonna be clear. Like, I told y'all last week, Ashley is turning into her mother, or already is her mother, and she doesn't realize it exactly, and she needs to go to therapy so she can try to counteract that. I didn't care for Ashley last season, and this season with her stank attitudes towards Joy, Raina, and Sherelle confirmed that Ashley is very insecure and immature. Yeah, just like Quick. Ashley needs to grow and seek therapy. Joy is giving Eva during her Real Housewives of Atlanta days. Girl, just own your stuff. This is true, but not nearly as entertaining to me as Eva was. At least we can get a good read out of Eva every now and again, okay? Edges. Dry ass wig. You know what I'm saying? Ate the bit. You know what I'm saying? All of that. So yeah, y'all, Arena feels like once again she's in the middle of something. Arena, you are not in the middle. You don't have to put yourself in the middle. Girl, stop. You don't know. Just stop. Quick doesn't have issues with his esophagus. We found out, and this is what really annoyed me. You could tell that Quick couldn't wait to call Ashley and tell her that they misdiagnosed him so that he could try to act like he doesn't have to slow down. And I'm going to just tell y'all right now, your esophagus may be intact, but that big old belly on your small body tells me that you either drink too much or you're not eating properly. Your diet is not like healthy because you are not fat, but you got a stomach on you. And that usually comes from alcohol, beer belly, or not having a good, like, a good healthy eating habits. Okay. Charlie, somebody who had to get rid of their gallbladder, who thought they had acid reflux, who needs to go take a pill right now. Girl, yeah, I know about it. So that's why I'm telling him and I'm saying, like, no, you still putting a lot of stress on y'all, on your body. And I'm saying this because back in the day when I was still in college, so I was finishing my last year of college and I was working 2 jobs. I was working at the news station and I was working at the courthouse, and I had, like maybe 2 or 3 days out the week where I had classes. So I think it was only like 2 days. But anyway, like Tuesday and Thursdays. But I remember I would go to work at the courthouse for 8 o'clock, get off at 4. I would get something to eat and go to the news station for 6. And not leave the news station sometimes until 10, 11, maybe midnight, depending on what was going on. So that's how my day was for a long time. So that means I don't have the time all the time to eat a balanced meal. So I was eating the wings at Rally's damn near every day because it was on my way from the courthouse to the news station. And at the time, Rally's had the best fucking buffalo wings ever. And I was eating them things like crazy. By the time I got to like working full time at the news station, like into that first full year, I found out I had gallstones. And it was because of my bad eating habits. Now I ain't had no big old belly because I'm still like in my 20s and small. So I'm metabolizing it quickly. But it still caused issues. I had to get my gallbladder removed. And it's because I was working so much and I didn't have enough time to eat a balanced meal that caused me issues. Okay? So that's why I know that regardless to whatever the fuck he's talking about, oh, they misdiagnosed it, you still have issues because you're not taking care of yourself. And now you calling Ashley, telling her that they misdiagnosed you like, nah, nanny boo boo, I'm not really sick, so I don't have to listen to none of the advice you wanted me to take. And it was just like, dude, just make sure you got health insurance on him. Just make sure you got health insurance. Let me tell y'all, baby, in my life, me and Lyric went out Friday. We had a real good time, right? And before we went to the second place, because we went to 2 different places. We had a burlesque show, and then we went to like this little private spot. And in between, we went to Rally's, because the Rally's on St. Claude. Listen, I'm going to say it again. Whoever the young man is that was working the shift on Friday nights at the Rally's on St. Claude, y'all need to figure out a way to tip that young man, because he was in there by himself cooking them meals fresh out the grease, and that shit was sticking. Okay, them tenders was everything. Okay, so shout out to the Rally's on St. Claude for that one black man that y'all in there working the deck because he was in there by himself. Y'all can at least have 2 people in there. But anyway, he was cooking, okay? But yeah, y'all, I was just like, you have got to take better care of yourself, Quick. Why are you using this misdiagnosis as a reason for why you shouldn't have to take care of yourself? He crazy. Get that life insurance. Anyway, so Joy meets with her friend Zanelle to vent about Ashley. Joy says in her confessional, she never said Ashley was fake and phony. She said it could be perceived as her being fake and phony because they was ribbing Sherelle's wig behind her back. And I'm just kind of like, girl, cut it out. You called her fake and phony. We don't have to backpedal and pussy pop this way. Shout out to Alex, okay? Joy explains, to Danelle that Ashley just kind of threw it out there about her really being married to Clifton. And she was like, why would she do it like that? And it's like, girl, we didn't just throw it out there any old type of way. Ashley explained how the conversation went. But either way, she starts to talk about how these girls don't know. She been being cool, but she could turn into an asshole again. And then they show us some clips from when she was on Ready to Love being an asshole to Dakia about Clifton. We remember, that's why we ain't like you. We remember. That's why we didn't like you. Because we felt like it was unnecessary the way you went at that lady. You acted like that lady was thirsty for that man and you felt that, well, just get over it. Ma'am, she's already dating somebody else. She's also already engaged. Like, it was annoying the way you acted, like it was such like an assault to you that he also had his connection with Dakia, and then you act like Dakia was tripping when he really was still fucking with Dakia. That's how Joy acted. Joy acted like Dakia, the other woman who was really Clifton's second choice. Carmen was not Clifton's second choice. I don't know why she lying like that. But either way, Dakia was his second choice. And he was still going back and forth between Joy and Dakia for a long time until Joy finally, bullied him into making that break, but he still didn't make the break clean. And then when he did do it, she turned around and acted like Dakia was sweating him. It was real fucked up. It was real fucked up and unnecessary for her to be so nasty to Dakia, because Dakia was never nasty to her. And you need to just hurry up and get over it. He don't want you. It's like, oh my God. If you got him, why are you this upset? If he for you, why are you this mad? See, let me explain something. When you really comfortable in who you are, y'all, and when I say that, I mean when you know who you are to a man, I'm not about to do all of this for no other bitch benefit. Like, I'm very, y'all, Claire Huxtable, bitch. Like, y'all may not understand because I'm very free-spirited. I curse like my grandmother. All of those things. But, bitch, I am Claire Huxtable when it comes to this, like, being secure in my womanhood as it pertains to, a man. Like, girl, Claire Huxtable, more power to you. More power to you. That's how I feel, okay? Because I know who I am. I know how valuable I am. I know what I am in a relationship with the person I'm in a relationship with. Like, y'all got a whole husband. And I still feel like, do you know how much it would take for me to, like, act out of character? It's my husband. Like what? You could, look, lap dance, all of that shit. And you think I would, not at all. It's my husband. Like, I'm good. I know who I am. Okay? So when women act like that, not saying that women shouldn't have boundaries. Everybody's boundaries are different. But what I'm saying is there is an energy about a woman where you never have to act ugly or do this. I'm about to scratch a bitch eyes out for a man, fighting over dick too. Yeah, no, I'm not doing none of that. I'm not doing none of that. Any pressure that I apply would be towards the man. You know what I'm saying? Because then it's like, I'm going to apply my pressure to you and allow you to make your decision, because I'm not thirsty. I'm not thirsty. So I'm going to, keep my energy where it's supposed to be. And that's between me and you. But a lot of women don't understand that. You feel like you got to do all of this, claiming your territory, as Chance said, when it's really unnecessary. If it's your territory, you should not have to reclaim it. Like, I don't have to reclaim something that hasn't been taken from me. You understand? Like, girl, y'all just don't get it. I just want y'all to Claire Huxtable. I just want you to sit back and just be. Okay? Just sit back and just be sometimes. If it's supposed to be what it's supposed to be, it's gonna be that. I'm sorry, y'all, but it reminded me of how she went after Dakia, and it was just giving real thirsty. Ooh. Anyway, so the swallowologist comes to Jamie and Arena's house, y'all. Okay. So first of all, how many times are we going to talk about the sex that the Tylers are not having? Number 2, the Tylers were in their 20s in the 90s, and y'all don't know how to go down. Y'all don't know how to do face in a place. Shout out to Roxanne. Let me tell y'all something. As a bisexual woman, I know how to do both. And I will say I prefer one over the other, but I'm also the type of person, I don't do nothing half-ass. So if I'm going to do it, I'm doing it so I can make you weaken your knees. I'm not doing it just so, let me go down there. No, I'm not doing it then. I'm not doing it then. Okay? And I'ma just tell y'all, like, the head for men is, they over exaggerated. They just like the way it look, but it don't feel as good as, when they be in their swimwear. Versus with women, we just get two different types of feelings. Like, you get clitoral orgasms from getting clitoral stimulation. Okay, men, it's the same thing no matter what. Okay, like, it's the same movement, it's the same feeling, ain't shit different about it. Okay, it's just, one hole for the other. Well, women, we're two different buttons. There's a button in there and there's a button on top. Okay, so yes, I'm just sitting up here like, the fact that y'all have been together for this long and y'all don't know how to sexually please each other, my God, that is so sad. What have y'all been doing in y'all relationship all of these years if y'all don't know how to pleasure each other? I can understand getting bored with each other. I can understand the sex getting stale. But y'all telling me, when Arena said, not with your teeth, you use too much. I said, teeth? I said, Jamie, take your teeth out and put them on the side of the bed, sir, because they shouldn't be nowhere involved in this situation. And then, y'all, he was feeling a way about her saying that he wasn't that good at head. And then he turned around and said, well, she wasn't the best either. And I was just kind of like, she let that slide. But that was shade to her, that she didn't give head all of that great. To me, it sounded like you didn't give head good enough. And so she stopped doing it to you because you weren't doing it well to her. See, this is given, Jamie probably didn't like to eat her out. And because he didn't like to do it, he would act like he didn't know how to do it. And then she would just get tired and be like, all right, never mind. But over the years, once you realize that I'm doing this and you not doing this, then you stop doing it too. And so now we ain't doing none of that. And I'm just kind of like, the fact that y'all done been married this long and y'all don't know how to pleasure each other sexually, I just don't, I just wonder what attracted y'all to each other. Like, what happened? Because I was just kind of like, so both of y'all not good at sex. Okay, got it. Y'all are killing me. Y'all are killing me, okay? It was so X-rated for them to, and then it was like, putting doing all of this. And I'm just like, I mean, I put the nigga, finger in my mouth just for the visual of it. Oh, okay, like, child, listen, I'm glad I was born in the late 80s, because if there's one thing I wasn't going to do is be in no relationship where I was not sexually fulfilled. Child, once we get to it, you need to know how to pop goes the weasel, because the weasel go pop. And if you don't know how to do it, then I don't know what we doing here. But that goes for y'all older people. All y'all people born in the 70s and all of that. Especially y'all women. Oh, all that matters is he can provide and protect. Can't fuck worth a damn. But I'm here 20 years later, still trying to teach him still trying to teach nigga how to bite my coochie when he eat me out. Okay? Oh my God. I cannot. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. Let's move on. Ashley and Quick's Christmas party. Everyone is having a good time. Arena and Sherelle were getting along, and then Joy came in with Carmen. And apparently, Joy had been ignoring all of Ashley's text messages. So Ashley was like, bitch, how you gonna come walking in my house and don't even come speak to me? Which I feel like she might have come spoken to her, but the way the room looked, it looked like she was trying to make her way around, and people stop you and all of that type of stuff. Then she left Britt's dad for that lazy head. Child, I need to know, did he arrest Brittany's daddy? Like, what happened? I need the backstory for Jamie and Arena's boring ass life. Anyway, Ashley pulls Joy to the side because Joy said she wasn't coming. Ashley says, girl, I didn't apologize to you several times, okay? And you haven't responded to me. Like, what's going on? And Joy says, listen, at the end of the day, you did something where I feel like we can't go back to building a friendship the way we were, but we can be cool and we can be cordial. Ashley got upset by this. Now, Ashley, if I can recall, you gave Arena the D in friendship. And it's because I guess she not really your friend until you give her the whole word. I don't know. But we all know that you feel like you can never call somebody your friend for real. You're always trying to audition your friends. And as long as they can stay in line as, you know, you being head of the Mean Girl squad, then they can be your friend, like Alicia. But as soon as they step out of that, then they're no longer your friend. They're an associate or some shit like that. So that's why I personally felt like when Joy said we can just be cordial, we can just be cool, I don't know why the fuck you got so upset, because you wasn't ever looking at that girl like she was really your real friend anyway. Okay? Ashley says that she brought Joy and Clifton on the show and she never got a thank you for that. And Arena also said that she spoke for Joy and Clifton for them to come on the show. And we probably know that some producer that works on OWN thought it would be a good idea to have them on this show. Clifton probably knows somebody because it's a lot of fraternity shit going on at OWN, where a lot of the men are in the same fraternity across the different shows, right? So it absolutely gives Ashley, even if you did speak on their behalf, it wasn't you that made the decision on whether they were going to be on the show or not. Joy was like, you want the show, Ashley. I don't want the show. And Ashley was like, then leave. And then Joy says, good, I will leave. She's picking up her stuff to go. And Ashley gets in her face and starts to push her. And I was just like, Ashley, this is what we're talking about when we say mean girl bully shit. You felt like you were going to be able to sun Joy. And because Joy was not allowing you to sun her, you decided you wanted to take it to that physical, like, you know, threatening level. And Joy was trying to let you know, don't put your fucking hands on me, Ashley. Okay? They have all of this hoopla going on. Production is trying to get Joy outside. All of these people are trying to hold Ashley back because Ashley is trying to let Joy out, but they're already letting her out. It was like, girl, you're doing too much. Then when Arena came, Arena was like, wait, what's going on? So she goes outside to talk to Joy, and she was like, wait, come back. I think she was trying to understand what was going on so she can have another one of these come to Jesus moments where we bring all of the women together and talk. But Ashley perceived it, because she is the head of the Mean Girl squad, as an assault to her that Arena did not come and check on her first, even though Ashley had security, her husband, Alicia, all of these people around her. All Joy had was Carmen. So it really wasn't a matter of let me go check on the person that matters to me first. It was let me go see what's going on with her, because you got a lot going on around you. Let me see what's going on with her, and then I'll come back and see what happened with you. And also because Arena knew how Joy felt about what Ashley did. So I feel like she kind of felt like Joy was probably responding to some shit that Ashley did, and Ashley was in the wrong. Just a little bit. So she went to check on Joy first. But yeah, I feel like I think that Joy shouldn't have come to Ashley's house if she didn't have a conversation with her beforehand. If you don't answer my text, I don't feel like I need to tell you you're not invited to my party anymore. If you're not answering me, that makes me think that you're not coming. So the fact that you didn't come to me as soon as you walked in the door to speak to me was an issue. But at the same time, I feel like Ashley was on her I'm about to punk you shit anyway. And it just didn't go down like that. Ashley's ego is completely out of control, as far as I'm concerned. And we see that she's got some humbling that's happening. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, Ashley is a pink lip. If Ashley doesn't get herself into therapy and address her inner child, because being a teen all your life is ignorant. And that's what it gives. Yeah, Ashley needs to go to therapy. She does. I don't think she realizes how a lot of this comes from her insecurity, that she feels like she doesn't matter, especially with other women, because she didn't really matter to her mom like that. So you take extra offense to your interactions with women because you're already at a very sensitive space with other women because of your relationship with your mom. If your mom treats you like shit as a child, you're going to grow up not trusting women and having like a somewhat defensive attitude towards women. I'm bisexual, and I still, and let me be clear, my relationship with my mom is not like that, but we still had issues in our relationship that now that I'm older, I've had to deal with the fact that I have trust issues with other women because of me and my mom's relationship. Okay. And like I said, my mom is not like her mom. So I just, Ashley's mom, I want to be clear on that. They are both older. Okay. My mom is in her 60s. And a lot of the women from that age do have a very harsh way of dealing with their emotions. My mom is someone that has been constantly throughout her entire life seeking involvement when it comes to that. She's always kind of wanted to be more accessible emotionally than I feel like her mother was. So she would really try to make efforts to not be like that. But, there was still some pull and push in our relationship. You know what I'm saying? Not to get too heavy into it. But yeah, there was some things in our relationship that I've had to like work through because our relationship created a lot of codependency in me. So yeah, you know what I mean? It's a whole situation. So you got to go to therapy because you never realize how these things are affecting you and how they're affecting the way you see other people around you and the women around you. I didn't even realize it. I didn't even realize I had any issues with my mom. Like, to tell you the truth, and it wasn't until I was in therapy that my therapist made me realize that I really was a little angry with her. And I didn't realize I was, but I had created like a separation, and it had to be explained to me why I had done that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you got to go to therapy, girl. And it's because you just don't know what you don't know. Okay? Thank you for the super chat, Gangsta Boo. When Joy was at the front door leaving, I peeped Ashley cowardly went to get her pit bull Alicia to help her fight her battle. Girl, like, take your ass upstairs, okay? Sitting up here acting like you're trying to fight this lady. Carlos said Joy had told production she wasn't coming, and he told production, what is he paying for then? So Joy was basically forced to come. I mean, I ain't mad at him. Let him know. What are y'all being paid for if y'all not gonna show up to film this damn show? I'm going through that with still with my mom. Yes, it's a real thing, y'all. Tell me about it. You have to have patience when talking to some boomers. For real, because they'll just tell you to get over some shit that's like a long depression. Bitch, I can't just shake it off. I'm sorry. I can't just shake it off. But that's how they handle you. Oh, you want your emotions, just shake it off. You know what I'm saying? And then they get upset with you. And I have to talk to my mom about that sometimes. My mom is also very emotionally in tune like me. So when she notices somebody around her uncomfortable emotionally, it makes her feel anxious. So she's like, stop. And she gets anxious about it because your discomfort makes her uncomfortable. And I'm like, Ma, you have to stop doing that. Like, I can have my emotions and it's okay. But that's the way my mom, you know what I'm saying, was kind of groomed to be. Very emotionally codependent with the people that she loves. And because of that, there weren't a lot of boundaries in the emotions. So I'm feeling whatever she's feeling, and she's feeling whatever my dad's feeling, and all of this shit. So for me, she basically taught me how to be emotionally codependent. And I had to like try to break that because it's hard. You know what I'm saying? It's really, really hard. Let me see what y'all saying. There is no way I could have controlled my slaps with Ashley talking to me with her hands when she came around that little table. It would have been on like Donkey Kong. Oh yeah, I definitely feel like she should have got hit because she put her hands on that lady. And my natural reaction probably would have been a musher. Carlos said production didn't know and wasn't expecting her. When Joy showed up at Ashley's, production called Carlos to let him know she was there because they weren't expecting her. Okay, got it. Thank y'all for signing up on my website. I see y'all signing up to become members. Okay, y'all. I'm done. I'm finna go. It's been a good hour and a half, a little plus. Make sure y'all like the video. I'm going to come back and do a members only live after I get my food because I thought I was going to work out and I still don't feel like working out. So I'll work out tomorrow, girl. I'll work out tomorrow once my wrist has completely healed. Me and Lyric was being lazy yesterday. We didn't go to high yoga. So I'm just lazy this week for some reason. But it's okay because sometimes you need to rest because you be doing the most. Okay? But yeah, y'all. All my members, I will be back after I eat and stuff. And child, I'm going to get a drink too. So I'm probably going to come back and do like a little, maybe around 7-ish. A little drunk 7 o'clock live with my members. Okay? And we'll talk about it. I seen y'all trying to make me talk about shit in these comments that I wasn't ready to talk about yet. Okay? But I fuck with y'all. So I'll talk to y'all about it later. Okay? But yeah, y'all, let me go. And I'll talk to y'all in a couple of hours. Okay? Bye.